Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
In the delicate arena of compliance, every conversation matters. Traditional methods can leave callers feeling unheard, but Ethico changes the game. Our empathetic interview technique reshapes compliance calls into powerful, compassionate interactions, ensuring no crucial detail is missed. It's about creating a conversation that matters, that resonates, that makes a difference. Be the change in your compliance approach. See the transformation for yourself at ethico.com/CPN. Book a demo, try our free ROI calculator, and explore the white paper by Tom Fox, The ROI of Compliance.
The Daily Compliance News for July 16, 2023, the Leisure Sickness Edition. And we begin with that story from the Financial Times. You pack your bags, you go to the beach, you get sick. This is a pattern of many hard workers on their summer vacations. So what is it? It is leisure sickness. Some people get it when they don't have the focus for work, and it can have a range of causes. The body can have a greater resistance to disease when working hard, and when that ends, we notice aches and pains. Whatever it is, that's what I had after I had the week of the 4th of July off, and I was sick the whole week. Oops. Next up from the Wall Street Journal, former now disgraced bankruptcy judge David R. Jones from Houston is under criminal investigation by the Department of Justice over his romantic relationship with a lawyer who worked on Chapter 11 cases before him. He resigned from the Houston Bankruptcy Court last October when his relationship became public, and the federal appeals court that appointed him found probable cause that he had committed misconduct. I'm going to say he did commit misconduct because he directed fees and rulings towards his paramour and her law firm and all of those who use them as local counsel. It's about as big a conflict of interest as you can get. Next up, lawyers for Musk's X Corporation got kicked off a case. Why? Because they had a conflict of interest. What was the conflict of interest? Well, they were suing an Israeli data scraping company called Bright Data for illegal copying content from the platform. However, it turns out they're actually defending the same company, and in a case from Facebook. That's called a conflict of interest. You might think that lawyers would be somewhat attuned to that, but I've had lawyers internally waive the conflict, and they apparently did so here. Oops. And finally, from Bloomberg, the ex-Mozambique Finance Minister Manuel Chang faces a criminal trial in the New York federal court over his role in the $2 billion tuna-bond fraud that embroiled Credit Suisse and created a financial crisis in Mozambique. This was a huge corruption matter, and Mozambique went into debt. Chang allegedly conspired with Credit Suisse bankers to take Mozambique into debt over a dubious maritime project. Mozambique defaulted on the bond, and prosecutors claim that at least $500 million was looted from the country by Chang and the other nefarious actors. Mentioned at the start of this podcast, this month's sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Have you ever wondered how to show the ROI of your compliance program? Have you struggled with the budgeting process, getting the funds you want for your compliance program? Well, I've partnered with Ethico to put together a white paper on the ROI of compliance, which shows you not only how to demonstrate ROI, but also how to speak finance when you're sitting across from the CFO with your budget proposals. Check out the website and get the white paper. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.